So let's start with the second class for the introduction of Python. Preethi, it's all yours.
Okay. Hi everybody. Hope everybody is doing good. Good evening. So today, this is what we are gonna do. We'll be learning data types, operators, if-else statements, else if, nested if, testing conditions, and some assignment problems. So let's get started. Today, I assume I have covered everything, but still there might be certain things I might have missed. But I'm happy to help you out, guys. You can just drop me a mail or pose me a question at any point of time. So starting with the data type. Data types are very important thing in Python. Like as I said, like in every language, we denote every value with a particular data type. So the same thing goes with Python as well. So every value in Python has a data type, and since everything is an object in Python, every value is being treated as an object in Python, and data types are actually the classes. We treat the value as the instances of the classes. So I assume that when we are talking in terms of classes, objects, and instances, that's where the OOPS concepts come into place. So in Python, the Python is actually an object-oriented, built-in object-oriented language, and it treats every value as an object and every data type as a class, and variables are treated as instance of those classes. Now we'll see that as an example in one of the programs or in one of the example problems. So, and Python numbers, these are the possible data types: integers, floats, and complex numbers. And they are defined as int, float, and complex. And integer can be of any length. There is no restriction. And it is possible that whatever is the memory location of Python, we can assign those many numbers as part of an integer variable. And but the floating point number, it is accurate up to 15 decimal points. And the difference between the integer and the floating points, they are separated by the decimal points, as we already know. And the complex numbers, hope we already, like what we have learned during our schooling. Complex numbers are treated as x plus yj, and where x is the real part and y is the imaginary part. Now let's see. Let's see an example. So if you see this, a equal to 5. So we are asking, this is which type of it is, which type does that particular value belong to, which data type does that particular value belong to. So this is how type is a built-in function that is already there in Python, and this is how it goes. So if I execute this program, okay, before that, let me just run in the presentation mode. I hope it is visible to everybody. So now it says 5 is type of class int, and 2.0 is class float, and I have 1 plus 2j. So we are asking if it is a complex number, if it belongs to. So isInstance is also a built-in function. So isInstance, we are asking if this particular value belongs to that complex number class, and it says true. So to see more about how do we use isInstance function as part of string or integer or float, I would just where is the other script? So let me just open another script which talks about isInstance. So this is the isInstance class.
While Preethi is getting these, all these codes that Preeti is showing you over here are placed on our website. So you can basically download them from there. Uh, so just at least one of you should reply to me that you guys are basically with us on these things, and what we are saying that you are following it. And again, all the questions should be in the text box. So all these codes that Preeti is showing you around, these are all there in the on our website under learning e-presentation. Sorry, Preeti, go ahead, please.
No problem, no problem. So yeah, so we will see the rest all data types going further. So right now, if you can see, the I is already been declared as 10, and we are just checking if this is instance of class int or not. So this is how we write the syntax of it. So print I is an int is instance of I comma int, and the same thing goes for the float and everything. We are about to talk about these particular data types like tuple, list, dictionary, and all. So we would see more into it. But for now, if I just execute this program, so this is how it gives you the value. Now, if I say I is an int, yes, this 10 value is true, and if yes, it is true, it is belongs to the instance float or belongs to the class float. So this is how we write the isInstance class here. So going forward, going more about the rest all data types. So let's talk about data type called list. And list is actually one of the most important operations in Python. So list is an ordered sequence of items. So when we say an ordered sequence of items, it means that every value in an array is being assigned with an index to it. So for example, when I say 1, 2, 3, 4 in a list, so I can say a of 0 equal to 1, a of 1 equal to 2. So there is an index starting for every value that is there, that is present in the list. We will see it in an example, and it is also the most used data type in Python, and it is very flexible, and it is most flexible because when compared to other languages, when we talk about an array we talk about only an array of a particular type of data types. Like if I talk in terms of Java or C or C++, when I assign an array, I'll assign an array pertaining to either list or either integers or strings. I cannot combine both of them. But here in Python, it is pretty flexible in terms of that. Like, you need not have similar data type attached to a particular list. I can say 1, comma Preethi, comma Python, comma 0, comma anything. I can talk about any data type in that particular list. And we can use a slicing operator. So when I say a slicing operator, it means that I can refer a particular variable in a list with a particular index number. So I can say a of 0, a of 1. I can refer anything. So when there is a slicing operator, I'll show you, like there are lot many operations that are possible with the list. Like you can delete items, you can append items, you can go and edit a particular item at a particular location, at a particular position. So that is all possible when we are using a slicing operator. So and there is also something called, we can access the list from a particular range of items. Say I wanted to access the list from the nth element to n plus 1th element. Okay, so I can say that by giving this slicing operator. So I'll show you more in the programming example. And as I said, lists are mutable. So when I say mutable, it means that you can go and edit list at any point of time. So I can append list, insert list, I can delete list, I can remove items, I can pop the items. So anything is possible. So that's the reason lists are, pretty flexible, and they are most used items in Python, data types in Python. So let's see an example of the same. So this is, say for example, now my initial list is a equal to 5, 10, 15. This is the list I declared. Now I can say that I'm printing the second data type. And by the way, the index of Python starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes on. So when I say A of 2, it gives me the third element, 0, 1, 2. Ideally, it should be giving me 15 here. So the same thing I was talking about, this is how we access a range of elements. So I'm saying that I wanted the first 3 elements. So this is how it goes. It prints 5, 10, 15. And here I wanted the elements, all the elements after from sixth element. So it goes from here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting from here, it prints till the last. So here, this is what immutability is, which means that I can edit an element. So now if I say my fourth element is 0, 1, 2, 3, it is 20. And I'm assuming that I wanted, since it is 20, I wanted to change it to 150, A of 3 equal to 150. And this is how it works. And this is how we append the list items, a dot append. So it appends 45, 50, 55. So it gives the appended values. And the new list, again, we can print the new list like this. And as I said, I can give strings in between. There is no restriction that I have to follow only integer data types in this particular list. So this is also a way of appending. I can append a list like this, a plus. This is one of the methods. I can use the append method, and I can say a plus also, that which appends to the existing a list, and it appends these two string values. And it is going to print it. And now insert. The function, the difference between the append and the insert is that we are adding a certain position when we are appending that value, when we are inserting that value. So I'm saying that insert at the 0th position, I wanted to insert New York. So this is how it goes. So the same thing goes with the deletion. Deletion, this is one of the way of deleting it. You are just straight away deleting A of 2. I am deleting the third element. And the same thing goes with remove. You can deleting the value of this list instead of the index value. Instead of I giving the index value here, I'm just deleting it with the value. I'll say that a dot remove 45 or a dot remove New York. So that is how it goes. And now there is an important operation called popping the list. So which means that, say this, for example, tasks is one of the array I created, and I said the tasks are email Frank, call Sarah, and meet with Zach. And these are my tasks to be done. And I can say that whenever I finished my task, I'm going to say that latest task accomplished is, this is an array, this is another list I'm creating, and I'm just popping that first, whatever has been accomplished, to this particular list. So this is, now the latest task accomplished, this list will have email, call Sarah. This is my second list item. So this is how you do the pop. I'm just popping the value of this particular list to another list. I can assign it. I can assign it to another list, and I can display it. So these are few ways of doing it.
So this portion will only take the second value.
Yes, because
Sarah.
I did not
mention. This list will only going to have one value in it.
Right.
Right. Sarah.
Right. So this is going to have the one value. So I can say that I can pop again. I'm done with this element. So I can say pop 2. So that you can just pop it. You can add on things like whatever is been completed. You're pushing it to another array. So as it is here, like if you don't mention anything in the pop, it means that it is taking the last item in the list, the last element in the list. So you can skip the index number. So it takes the last. So for, in this case, meet with Zach would be my last element. So that is how it is being populated into latest task accomplished. So let's see the execution of this script. Can I just, okay, I cannot. See, so as per the first statement here, A of 2 is 15, which is my third element, okay? And now it is giving me the range. A of 0 to 3, it gives 5 to 15, this being the list. And A of 5, it gives the range from here, the sixth element, and so on. And this is where the mutability comes, list before mutability. So this is the list before mutability. And if you see, I was just editing this value, saying that A of 3 should be 150. So my fourth element should be 150. So here, the new list here, I'm appending 45 and 50. So my new list would be appended values of 45 and 50. And this is another way of appending, wherein I was trying to append the strings. And this is again the new list with the appended values. And if you see, there is an insert of 0th position, or the first index position. I wanted to insert New York. So this is how it is. And I'm deleting A of 2. So I'm deleting my third record. So my third record is 10. And I'm deleting the third record, or third list element. And I'm just removing New York from here. And it is been removed. And now this is my tasks: email, call Sarah, and meet Frank. Now what my latest accomplished is, latest task accomplished, since I'm popping the second element value, so it is call Sarah. And tasks to be done. So I also created, so these are, and it is popping, if you have noticed, since I popped the value, popped it to another array, another list item, it is being deleted from this particular list. So if you see, the latest task accomplished is call Sarah, and task to be done is email Frank and meet with Zach. It is still there. Okay. Some question? Okay. So now again the task accomplished. I created another list which is task accomplished, and I'm just appending whatever is there in latest task accomplished. So that is what it is, task accomplished. At this point of time, I just had a doubt. I just wanted to check if task accomplished is of which type. You know, I'm just curious. As I'm talking to you, I'm just curious which data type does this belong to. So I just wanted to execute that. Or let me save this. Oh, where did this go? Weird. Where did this thing go? Oh, this is a string. So it is creating a string over here. So it is popping into that element. Now since it is saying that task accomplished is not declared, I can say that, and now it gives me that task accomplished, this particular thing would be a list. Here's my data. So now if you see, the task accomplished is a list, but since I did not declare anything here, so when I pop an element, to another, I can pop an element to another string. So if you see, it is popped, the data type of that particular latest task accomplished is a string. So moving forward, any questions here? You have any questions, or we can move forward?
Okay, there are some 3 chats. So
okay. Difference between append and insert, if you repeat please. Okay. Append is that you are just appending to the list directly. You know, this is the list already available. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. When I say append, it is adding elements or the list items to the last, whatever is being given. It just appends to it, to the existing list, 45 and 50. Whereas when I say insert, I can give the index value to it. I can say that, I can say that A of 0 equal to New York, or I can say testing. So this is a way of doing it. Insert is a function, or you can either do it in this way also. So this is the other possibility, the other way of doing it, like inserting this particular string item at the 0th index. So yeah, I just wanted to repeat, when you are popping the item, when you are popping from this particular list item, that particular item would be removed from this list. So if you have observed, tasks to be done, if once I popped into this list, this string, latest task accomplished, when I pop it into this string, my next, if you check the value of tasks, it is email Frank and meet with Zach. So once pop, it means that you are removing it from this item and then appending it to another string that which is declared, that which is assigned to. So any more questions? Okay. I'll repeat the example again. Let me just remove this part and just write it in another script so that it might not be that confusing. So okay, now I'm ready. I just copied into a new script. Now since let us start everything again. That would be easy. Now I have a task list item. I have a list called tasks. Okay, and in the list they are called email Frank, call Sarah, and meet with Zach. So as you know, when I say task of 0, it means that email Frank, and task of 1, it is call Sarah, and task of 2 is meet with Zach. Okay, now I'm just creating something. Say for example, I have already emailed Frank. Okay, I'm creating something called accomplished task. Okay, and I'm saying tasks dot pop of 0. Okay, now if I want to print, now I want to print my the new task list. Okay, and I also want to print my accomplished tasks. Now if I'm executing this script, so my initial list was email Frank, call Sarah and meet with Zach. But now my new task list is call Sarah and meet with Zach. And my accomplished task is email Frank. And it is, okay, now I can also say that now accomplished task is equal to, when I'm giving this statement, it means that it is taking into this particular variable, accomplished task. Since I haven't assigned any data type to it, or I did not create a list item to it, it is taking this to be a string. The data type of this particular variable, or this particular variable value is string. For example, I wanted to make this as a list item. Okay, and now if I want to run this script, let me just check the data type of it. Yeah, okay, it is still taking it to be a string. So once the pop is given, it automatically takes it to be a string. Okay, this is something even I'm learning. So when a pop is being given, a pop of something, it just takes it to be a string. Let me just say I'm popping this. So now what would happen? So it just overrides the value. So this keeps on overwriting the value. Whatever is been the latest, it is going to give me that. So the task accomplished is this. So in order to achieve that, say if you wanted to maintain a separate list, okay, if you wanted to just maintain a separate list, so this, if you see our earlier script, like that which I have already written, data type list. So if you wanted to achieve that, we create another list called tasks accomplished, and you keep on appending whatever your value is to that particular newly created tasks accomplished list. So
okay, there is another question. Difference between popping and delete.
Popping, that you're popping it to another list item, to another string. Popping is that you are just, remember that you're doing a cut paste and you're just deleting. So to keep it more simple, it is just cut paste is popping, and deleting is that you're just deleting the occurrence. There is no pasting. Is there any function such as push in Python, like other languages? I have to check that, as I'm not sure about it. I'll just check and get back to you about push and push, if there is existing in Python. Yeah, so shall I go forward, or you want me to again implement this task? Like, okay, let me just give this step.
You can move forward.
Yeah, okay, I'll just move forward. So as I was saying, list operations, these are the main important operations. We have already seen append, insert, delete, remove, and pop. So appending, you're just appending it to the list. Inserting, as we have seen, we are just inserting it with a index value. Deleting, we are deleting that particular list item from the list. Remove, we can give the value instead of the index number. We can say remove 50, remove New York. And popping is paste, cutting some element from the list and then pasting or assigning it to some other string variable in Python. Now coming back to the next data type, this is tuple. Tuple is a ordered sequence of items, which is same as list. The only difference between tuples and list is that it is immutable, which means that you cannot edit, like how we did with list, a of 2 equal to 150 or a of 0 equal to New York. We cannot edit a tuple. So tuples once created, they cannot be modified. So they are write protected. Tuples are write protected, and they are usually faster because when there are no write operations on that, and it is only that we are accessing that particular available list and doing operations on top of that, it is faster. We cannot make any dynamic changes to it. And tuple is defined within parentheses, whereas list is defined in terms of square brackets. So if we see an example with tuple, so this is a is this the tuple thing I'm doing? Yeah, it is the tuple. Okay. So my tuple is 5 program and 1 plus 3j. And I can say I can access the list like t of 1 giving the index value, but I cannot modify something like here it generates an error. If I just say, if I execute this script, so tuple does not support the item assignment. So t of 10 equal to 10, it is erroring out. So if I just comment it and then run, so we can still use the retrieving of variables by accessing a t of 1 or t of 0 to 3, like giving a range and doing it, but we cannot make any modifications on top of it. We cannot edit it. So that is the main difference between a tuple and a list. So going forward, strings. String is a sequence of Unicode characters, and we can use double quotes or single quotes or triple quotes to access strings that we have already seen in our last class. So when you are using multi-line strings, you can use it with triple quotes like this or this. So like list and tuples, we can use the slicing operator. So when I mean slicing operator, it means that we can access the variable or the string with a index value. But similarly, like tuple, strings are immutable. So we cannot edit any string value with a particular another value. Say for example, Preethi, if I wanted to replace R with something else, I cannot do it. Because it is similar to that of tuple and it is immutable. So looking at the example, so now if I say this is the string, this is the script, and the string is hello world. Okay, I can run this, and you can say that string does not support item assignment. It is still immutable. That is the reason it is giving me the error. So if I just comment this and do it, so my fourth, so which means the fifth one is hello O, and I'm trying to retrieve 6 to 11, so which is world. I'm trying to avoid this exclamation. So this is how we can access strings as well. We can access string to be like an array having some indices to it, and we can access it with the slicing operator like this. But we cannot edit a value when we are trying to use it in a string. Going forward, so there are something called sets. It is like our normal set math, set theory, what we have. So in those terms, so set is an unordered collection of unique items. So set is defined by the value separated by comma, and it is denoted in terms of curly braces. So items in a set are not ordered, but set by default, if given an array of values, given a list of values, set by default, it sorts it and displays it to us. So we can perform these operations like union, intersection on two sets, and sets will have unique values. Even if you happen to give some duplicate values, but when you display it, it eliminates the duplicate values, and it deletes the unique values. It prints the unique values. So sets are unordered collection. So when we say an unordered collection, indexing has no meaning. So for example, I gave 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3 3 3, and if I am applying set on top of it, what it gives is 1 2 3. So in that term, the indexing is not possible. So slicing operator doesn't work with set. So I can show it to you with an example. For example, so this is a set 5 2 9 2 7 3, and if I first run the script, see this, I'm trying to print A, and whatever I have given is 5 2 9 2 7 3, but if you see, it has been sorted 2 3 5 7 9, and it is a class of set. It belongs to a class of set. And now I also like list and tuple, it also can be a combination of numbers and strings. So this is another set array I just created. So this is a set of test of set, number test, explaining the order. So this I created just to see how is it being sorted. It is sorting in terms of this, like 0 1. I don't know. So this is how it is being printing it with this thing. And also, as I said, 1 2 3, like 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3 3. It just gives me the unique values. And now if we see, as I was mentioning here, like we can perform union, intersection, and like what we used to do with our set theory, the same thing is possible here also. So this is how we intersect both the sets. This is how we write B dot intersection of A, B dot intersection of C. So this is the syntax of that. The same thing, when we say intersection, it just gives the similar items between the two sets, and union, it just gives the union of all the sets, all B union A, B union C. So that is how it is being displayed here. So any questions? Can I move forward? So I hope you understand why the slicing operator doesn't work, right? So when I say A equal to 1 2 3 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3, so but when I print A, it just gives me 1 2 3. So in this context, my slicing operator really doesn't work because there is no indexing set to it. It is just an unordered collection of items. So I cannot say A of 0 or for me A of 2 is 2 here in this term, but A of 2 here it is 3. So that doesn't make any sense. So So since it is unordered, indexing doesn't make any sense here. So that is the reason we cannot access with the slicing operator. So yeah, and also I was interested to show you this thing. I was just finding it in the online right now when I was just searching with things. I can show you. So these are the possible methods with the set. These are the possible things that which are with the set methods. Python set, remove, add, copy, difference updated. So if you're interested with set, you know what all operations can be performed. You can go ahead and look at it. So symmetric difference update. So this again, individual examples have been given with this. So we can, we can very well go ahead and see, look at it, what is happening. So I will just. So if interested, I'll just share the link. You might want to just look at what all operations are possible with set theory, with sets. So going forward, so there is something called Python dictionary, and again dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pair. So a dictionary is always accessed in terms of key value pair, and it is generally used when you have a huge amount of data. So like the benefit of having a key value pair is that you can access it. The retrieval makes it easier and faster. So that is what a Python dictionary is. And Python dictionaries are also denoted in terms of a curly brace, like which we do with sets. And it is in the form of key and the value. So to look at it, to look at the example. So this is a dictionary. I'm defining it with 1 to be value and key to be 2. And I'm trying to print the type of it. And I'm accessing the D of 1. So I'm accessing it with the key. Okay. So it is gonna print the value of that key. So same thing goes with here. So let's execute. Can anyone point out what is the error here in this script? Why did it error out? So as I said, dictionary, again, it is a key value, and you can access dictionary in terms of keys. So can anyone point out what the issue is? Why this statement particularly, why did it error out? Yes, as we called it by string, in the sense we called it by the value. Yes, you're right. We are calling it in terms of value. So we cannot call it in terms of value with a dictionary. So we always call it in terms of key. So, and it is an unordered, remember it is an unordered collection of items, and you cannot access in terms of indexes. So I cannot say it to be 1. Okay, here the value is, okay, let me change the value to be 6. Okay, now I cannot even call it in terms of D of 1. Okay, saying that index, I cannot call it in terms of index. See, it still errors out because indexing is not present in dictionary. So you can access it in terms of keys that which are provided. So if you see, it is a class belongs to dictionary, and D of 6 is value, and D of key is 2. So it gives us the value. So moving forward, conversion between data types. I was talking about the implicit and the explicit conversions last class. So we can convert between different data types by using type conversions like int, float, string, etc. And but when we are trying to convert in from one data type to another data type, that particular data type should be compatible. Say for example, I cannot say that A equal to Preeti, and I cannot say uh, or B equal to int of Preeti, because Preeti is always a string. Preeti has got no particular value in an integer. So so when we are trying to convert into another data type, we have to ensure that it is compatible. The data type that which we are trying to convert, that value should be compatible with that data type. So I'll show you an example here as well. And we can convert from one sequence to another sequence. And to convert a dictionary, again, each element should be a pair. It should be present in terms of key value pair. So let's see an example here also. So x equal to float of 2.5, and 2.5, this is given in terms of string, and I'm trying to convert into float, and this has got no issue. And again, this y equal to int of 1p. So since I was saying earlier, like this value cannot be converted because it doesn't belong to that data type. 1p is a string, it doesn't belong to that integer data type. Now converting, can we convert a list to a set? So this is how we do it. This is a list 1 to 4, okay, and I'm trying to print it, which type is that, and I'm saying x is equal to set of 1 to 3. And if you execute this script, we see that now x is being converted as a set. Set is 1 2 3. Now we can convert a set to a tuple. I have a set 1 1 1 1 3 3 3 4 6 8, and I can convert this to be a tuple. The only thing how I do is that I give tuple of y. So I can convert a string to a list. So z, I'm giving it to be a string. We can see which type is that, and now I'm converting that to be a list. Now it would be interesting if you see the results that which would be generated. So anybody, what is the error? I already mentioned it in the script, but just wanted to see how active you are in the class. Yes, anybody else? Raz, he's already given me the answer. I just wanted from anybody else. Anybody? Okay. Since I've already got the answer, so this is the issue. So I'm just deleting the p and running it. Now if you see, the first thing, it is being converted to float, okay, and second, it is being converted into int. Now if you see, x is 1 2 3, first it is a type of list, and now after giving this command, x is set of 1 2 3, it has changed it to set. So going to the second one, y equal to 1 1 1 1 3 1 4 6 8. As I said, when you are accessing y, it just deletes the duplicates and gives it in terms of the unique values. So initially y is a set with 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 as a unique value, and now it is changing it to tuple. With this statement, it changes it to a tuple 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. And the last one, this initially is a string, z is a string, and I am trying to change it into list. So this is how it is printing, HELLO. So this is the class of list. So any questions? Okay. Moving forward, now let's talk about the math operators. So there are certain types of operators that are existing. We already know what an arithmetic operator is. So it is used for the logical computation. And comparison operators, we see greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And so it either returns true or false according to the condition. And logical operator and or not are the logical operators. And bitwise operators, they act on the binary digits, and they are operated bit by bit. So that is the reason we give the name as bitwise operators. So, and they are also called assignment operators, equal to, double equal to, and all that stuff. And there are some special type operators that are special type of operators, like membership operators. So like in, not in, we generally get to see these things in queries, like database queries, MySQL or Oracle or anything. But now it is also present in Python as part of membership operators. So given a list or a string or a tuple, we can say if it is, we can just give a command saying in or not in. We can just check the existence of an element, list element or tuple element or set element, by just giving in or not in condition. So I'll show you an example for each and everything, for each and every operator. So as you know, these, yeah. So these are the arithmetic operations. So plus, add two operands, minus, subtract. So we already know this, and only this, the modulus operator. Modulus just gives the remainder of x and y and not the coefficient. So these things like double slashes. This is floor division, and it is the division that results into whole number. Adjusting itself to that is adjusted to the left in the number line. So, and double multiplication, double asterisk marks, it is the left of this is the exponent x power y. So these are some of the arithmetic operators. Now if you see, so this is the arithmetic operator script that which we have seen in the presentation. The same thing has been applied. So x and y, if you see the operations that are performed. So this is x plus y, x minus y, x into y, x by y. Okay, 15 by 4 gives the remainder. X by y gives the nearest whole number. If you see 3.75, it is giving the nearest whole number. And x power 5, so it is 15 times 15 power of 4. So these are arithmetic operators. Now this is the comparison operator, greater than, less than, double equal to, not equal to, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. So I hope this is simple, but still, if you want to see the script, I just made the script as well. So these are the comparison operators. So this just prints x greater than y. So yes, it gives the, in terms of true or false. So x is greater than y, false, true, equal to y. So it is, the result is just true or false. So moving forward, logical operators in Python, and, or, and not. So It is like our truth table. True if both x and y are true. True if either operands of x and y are true, and not true if operand is false. So which is a complement, like not x. So I can show you an example. What is it? Logical event. So logical. So if I say x equal to true and y equal to false, so definitely x and y will be false, and x or y is true, and not x will be false because it is true. So x and y is false, x or y is true, and not x is false. So these are the bitwise operators. So it is bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise not, XOR, right shift and left shift. So these are the bitwise operator screen. So this is how it generates the binary values of it, x and y, bitwise or, bitwise and, XOR. So right shift and the left shift. So this is how it is generating, like 0 0 0 0 0. So these are the assignment operators. So here the important thing is, like, if you want to auto increment it, if you wanted to increment with something like 5, so we can just mention it x plus equal to 5. So it is in terms equal to x equal to x plus 5. So the operands can be given towards the left side after the variable. So it automatically is equivalent to, something, the full form of it, like x equal to x plus 5, x equal to x minus 5, and all this stuff. So assignment operators. So this is how it is, So we can do this way when you're trying to auto increment or subtract or doing anything of that sort. So x is 5, 10, 5, 25. That's how it works. So, and these are the identity operators, which is like true if the operands are identical. You can say if x is true and is not true. So the meaning is that if x is true, or x is refers to some object, then it is true, and is not is that it is not equivalent to that particular type. So if we see an example, let me know if I'm going too fast or you want me to slow down, because
there are some questions.
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking at it.
There are some questions.
Yeah,
in the
it is an
chat box.
implicit. It is. One second. Let me just write. Why a string is sliced into alphabets? So string can be. You can have first question. Why a string is sliced into alphabets? So string in this in Python, it is considered to be having an ordered collection of list. A string can have an index. Like when I say Preethi, so my 0th, my P being the 0th index, R being the first index, it can be assigned with an index value. So that is the reason why it is being sliced into alphabets. Like if I say Python, Python, okay, I can slice it in terms of saying that it is sliced because it is taken in terms of a list. It considers it to be a list, and it is an unordered collection of alphabets, unordered collection of items in terms of alphabets, and you can access it in terms of a of 0 equal to 1, a of 0 equal to p, a of 7, or a of something nothing. It takes the last item, so n. So In that terms, it is being sliced in terms of index points. And x by y has 3.5, so int by int equal to float. So 15 by 4, it is not taking in that terms, it is implicit. Remember, I was talking about an implicit conversion last class. So if your answer is given in terms of float, it implicitly converts the answer to be a float value. So it is not like Java. If you say that 15 by 4, I declare 15 to be an int, 4 to be an int, and I expect my answer to be an integer. It is not like that. So Python has a inbuilt implicit conversion that which takes place, and it implicitly converts it into the nearest or the apt data type being float. It gives 3 point something, the decimal value, whatever is the apt answer. So there is an implicit typecast that which is present in Python. Can you repeat the float division? Arithmetic operators. Is it the arithmetic? Are you talking about this 3.75? Okay. So now if you see x by 5, y. So my x by y is 15 by 4. My 15 by 4 is 3.75. So this is the reminder, like the regular division. Since it hasn't got, now if I say if something that which is divisible, I give something that is divisible. So my x by y is 4.0 because it is divisible. And my this double y is that it is giving it to the nearest whole number value. So x double y, it is giving the nearest whole number value 4.0. It has got the nearest whole number is 4. Anything else, or can I proceed further?
Let's move forward.
So let's see what an identity operators are. So if I show this, now I've declared x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, and y3. Okay. Now I'm checking if x1 is not y1. Okay. And I'm checking if x2 is y2. Okay. And x3 is y3. Now let us execute this. So it is giving false, true, false. This one it is giving false because ideally x1 and y1, x1 is y1, right? So if I just remove not, now this would be giving me true. Now x3 is y3. So this is giving false. What is the difference here? Okay, I'll just figure it out. Now if I just run the identity script, now if you see x1 is y1, which is 5 and 5, it is correct, and hello are correct, and x3 is y3. Ideally this should be true. I don't know if I'm missing something. I'll just check that and update the script once. I'll just check that. So this is how the identity operators are, just to understand the syntax. So I'm just, if I say that x2 is not, because we haven't executed not, so is not and is and is not are the keywords that which we use for the identity operators. So membership operators, as I was saying, the membership operators are like you're checking if an element is existing in the list or in a sequence of words or in a sequence of list items. So let's check an example with that. Membership operators. So I would say hello world. Okay, X is hello world and Y is dictionary. So I'm checking if H is in X, hello is in X, is not in X. Okay, and Y in one in Y. So let me just execute the script for you. So first hello, the H is in X, yes. Hello, not in X. Why is this giving true? Can anyone say?
Anyone? Hey, we would like to have it very interactive. That's the reason why we are not just putting down the videos. This is a good chance for you to ask questions. Even if you want it to be slower, we can do that. But you have to participate.
Okay. Yes, case sensitive. Yes, Riaz, you are right. It is case sensitive. That is the reason why it is giving true. And now if I say in, it is gonna give me false. So it is false because hello is case sensitive. And now 1 in Y, yes, it is true. A in Y, it is giving false. And for this also, can anyone say why? I know I have given the answer, but can anyone say why this print A in Y is false? And A being, let me show what A is. Y is a dictionary, and I wanted to understand why A in Y is false. Because it is not present due to case sensitivity. Yes, I mean, Ariba, the first one, the answer to the first question is correct. Can you please give me the answer to the second question that I'm asking? Print A in Y. This is giving it to be false, and Y being this. Yes. Yes, Ariba and Riaz, both of you are correct. So the reason being, we can access the dictionary with the keys, not with the values. So even when you are checking it in a dictionary, giving it by value also wouldn't work. You know, it doesn't check its existence. So a dictionary would have, or we can check the existence of a value in terms of only accessing its keys, not in terms of its values. So moving forward, I remember like last class when I was mentioning what an indentation is, or when I was talking about indentation, most of you were asking what indentation is and can you show me an example and all that. So for this purpose, I've just made this slide. So indentation is like a block. Uh, like a block is like what we regard a block is a group of statements for a specific purpose. So one distinctive feature of Python is its indentation to highlight the block. For example, now if you take PHP code, so if you want to do some PHP coding, so if you say for I equal to 0, I is less than or equal to 1 or I plus plus, okay, and I would say, so this is how it starts. This is how the PHP coding starts. It expects this. Okay. But in Python, we don't give curly braces or something to denote it to be a block. So what do we do is that we just give a white space for the next statement when you are doing it in a block. A block can be a set of statements like used in a loop, while loop, if loop, for loop. sorry, if is not a loop, but while and for and if to be a condition block, it is a conditional statement or conditional block. So when we look at it in terms of an example, I'll show you. Okay, let me just check what is this script I gave. Okay, sample if. So if you see now, this is a sample if statement. So my if, this is a statement, okay, and this is what the syntax of an if looks like. And the statement, the block, or we say that this statement works, this block works only if we give this white space. This holds a meaning in if. If I say that, if I just remove this indentation, if I just say like this, if you see my PyCharm is already giving me an error. Okay, if I say this and if I run it, so it is saying that there is an indentation expected. Indentation is an expected. So this is what an indentation is. You give, so the ending of this particular block is when it starts, when it ends at the same level. When a next statement starts at the same level, there it is said to be an end. This if is ending at this else, or this else, or the entire if block ends at this print statement. From there on, it is no longer with this if block. It continues as another separate execution of statements. So that is how it is. That is what an indentation is. This is how showing an indentation is. So any questions? Okay, and moving forward, so as you all know, this is an if statement. This is the flow chart of an if statement. You just test for an expression, and if it is false, you go to the end. If it is true, you go to the body of if. So in Python, the body of the statement is indicated by indentation, as I was mentioning, and body starts with an indentation, and the first unindented line marks the end. So as I was showing, the first unintended line here, it shows the end of this particular if, or this shows the end of the entire if block. So Python interprets non-zero values as true, and none and zero are interpreted as false. When you are executing in terms of a if block, if something is equal to something, so the non-zero is expected as true, and none or zero is interpreted as false. That's how the if condition works. So this is the sample if. So if you say that if number is greater than 0, so you say that print number is a positive number, and this is always printed. This is how we are ending the if, and from here on the next set of statements executes. So going forward, comparison operators. So comparison operators in if are like equality operator, not equal to operator, and both the operators can be used to compare numbers, string, variables, or any combinations, or like any math expressions. And both the operators are case sensitive. So equal to operator are like equal to, double equal to, and not equal to, as the name implies, the not equal to. Comparison if, just give me a minute. So now if you see, full name is Max Meyer, and you would check it. This only works under double equal to, which means that you're checking the validity of it. If you're checking if these two things are this variable and this string, if it is equal or not. So the same thing goes with your numerical expressions. I'm just trying to calculate the total cost of it. So, and these are the arithmetic, like the next slide shows the greater than, the comparison operators, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So these are one of them, like one is greater than 0, one this. And the not equal to operator, this is the not equal to operator. Okay, and if I say 1, 2, 5, and if I just execute the script, say incorrect. Okay, so these are all being generated. You can say that these two are, if you see this is used for comparison operator for string, and the result is correct. And here it says not equal to, so the labor cost is incorrect, and all this stuff, double equal to. Double equal to is for equating two expressions, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and all this stuff. So going forward, if else statement we have already seen in our example. You test for an expression, and if it is true, you go to the body of it, and false, you go to the body of else. And this is how a if else statement works. So the same example, whatever we were doing it for. So this is sample if else. So it is just if number is greater than 0, print positive, or else print negative. So going forward, if you see if, else if, else. So elif is else if, similar to else if. So you can test for an expression. If it is true, go to the end. So there is something called else if. So you go to the body of else if or else. So we can just see with an example here. So if you see in this number, we check if the number is a positive or negative or 0, and display an appropriate message, like number is 3.4. Okay, if number is greater than 0, we check it is a positive number, and in between we are also checking if it is equal to 0, and we are checking if it is 0, and we print 0. So else we are seeing negative number. So here it is just a positive number. So that is what an else if is. So nested if. So nested ifs, as the name indicated, having n number of if statements within an if statement. So we can have if else if statements inside and another if else if statements. And yeah, as you might have already known, this is called as nesting, and any number of statements can be nested, and the way of identifying it is only through indentation. So if I show the nested, if, so this is an example of nested if. So number, I'm just entering and inputting a number. Float of and input of is a function, inbuilt function to get the numbers. Okay, and we are seeing if number is greater than 0 and greater than or equal to 0. Inside that you are checking if it is equal to 0. So if it is 0, we are printing it. Otherwise, we are just printing whatever is being. So I enter a number. Let me say enter 0. So I'm giving is 0. So and testing for conditions, a set of conditions, to make it more verbal. So this is an example. You can use the keywords like and, or a combination of both. So if age is greater than 65 or age is less than 21 and resides in US. This is an example of how we combine different set of conditions for testing. So just to give an example for that, testing conditions. So if the age is 35 and residence is US, and I just declared some variables here, and I'm just checking if H in X or Y A in Y, so checking for either or conditions. And if age is greater than 65 or less than 21 and it is residing in US, you print this, else you just print the age. So if I just run this, so it here, if you see here, it is not going inside this condition. Sorry, here it is not going inside here because it is not satisfying either of the conditions. So it is just going into the else and printing it. So any questions till now? Because I'm going ahead with the assignment stuff. I don't think we have time for that. So if you want me to continue further, I can just, we can just pause for a while and you can try executing these things, and I can show how it works and all. So, or else if you wanted to check it through the website, and I remember I've given solutions for a couple of them as part of the script.
I will suggest let them do this thing on their own, and if they can send me or you the solutions what they have, then we will going to start it from here, and from on Thursday we can start from here and spend 10 minutes to 15 minutes on it to move and then move forward.
Yeah, sure. So I'm again sharing my email ID in the chat. So if you have any questions or anything, please reach me. I'm more than happy to answer you. So.
All right. Then what we can do is there's a comment from chat. Somebody, you send a chat. All right. Then what we can do is we'll meet again on Thursday. Meanwhile, why don't you guys see if you guys can do any of these? By the way, the solutions might also be there on the website.
True.
So, but try to see if you guys can do it on your own and send it out to us. I was a few of them like Ramsha just emailed me. Still, she is not able to. She said in the at the start of the class, she texted me that there is no electricity in their area. So hope she will join us next time. Meanwhile, I appreciate if you guys can review this thing and come and then let us know what the next step will be.
Yeah, true. So I just wanted to make it interactive. I don't know. Am I too fast, or you're not? I don't know. So because if you have any inputs or how do you want to go forward, we can do that. We can implement that plan as well. So
there is something. Is there some message? Okay. All right, then we'll see you next on Thursday, coming Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see on Thursday. Yeah. So if you're finding the examples are pretty much lengthy, or you wanted me to change some examples, I can do that for the next class. You're finding it good, we can go ahead in the similar method, understanding the programmatical approach of it. So either ways I'm fine. So do let me know any concerns or any comments or anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.